Welcome to the Poundcast, Brent. Today, we have a cool show. This show is going to be really fun. We got Kira Nova, interesting woman that I met at the Elysian Theater. And we talk about a lot of cool stuff with her, right, Brent?
Yeah, it's interesting, yeah.
And we have an After Dark episode, or it's called Unzipped now. But in the Unzipped episode, we talk about, what is it?
Sexual slapstick.
Sexual slapstick.
What's that all about?
And what's that all about?
Well,
you're going to find out today on the Poundcast.
How do you find out?
How do you find out?
Patreon.com/Poundcast.
Yeah, join our Patreon if you want to listen to the bonus episode, which is called Unzipped. We talk about sexual slapstick.
We talk about idiot excavations. What is it?
Idiot expedition, which is actually really fascinating. Yeah. And the only way to do that is become a patron. This is what keeps the show moving. Patreon.com/Poundcast.
You know what else keeps the show moving?
You know what else keeps it going?
Louisville, LVJco.com. Louisville Vegan Jerky.
Yep, that's right, Brent. LVJco.com is the home of Louisville Vegan Jerky, and I'm on there right now. And wow, their new flavor, their new forever flavor, General Tso's, sold out right now.
Uh-oh.
But they still have Buffalo Dill.
Buffalo Dill's good.
They got Shelby Park, Honey Barbecue, small batch.
Honey
Your favorite.
I love Honey Barbecue, and I love the Cherry Chipotle, too. Do they have that still?
I'm not sure, Brent.
Oh.
I'm not sure.
Get it while it lasts.
Yeah, they got the Cowboy Steak.
Cowboy Steak, get it.
They got the Sesame Gochujang. They got the Jamaican Jerk. They got the Kung Pao. They got the Sweet Chili Garlic. They got the Man Teriyaki. The flavors go on and on. We're talking perfect pepperoni, maple bacon, smoky Carolina barbecue. Look, if you want to get a 20% discount, go to lvjco.com, use the code word Poundcast, and get yourself 20% off.
Because the stuff is
your entire order.
Because the stuff is bagged in the United States, and it has a shelf life of 9 months.
That's right. What else? I mean, this is non-GMO, gluten-free, plant-based jerky. We love it. You're going to love it. lvjco.com. Use the code word Poundcast. Or if you don't want to buy it online, you can go to Sprouts. You can go to Whole Foods, stores like that. Any place that has quality stuff, you're probably going to find it there.
You said it. And that's cool. You know what else is cool?
What else?
Sometimes being able to see, I don't know, facial expressions, and just because Doug just made a funny face just now. If you're not if you're only listening to this, you didn't see his face.
And Brent has a couple funny faces today on today's show too.
I tried. I don't know, but
they're always funny to me.
I tried my best. Is all I say. YouTube.com/thepoundcast is where you can watch the show.
We're also on social media, Instagram and Twitter at the Poundcast. Correct?
That's right.
And TikTok is the Poundcast, right? And it's
TikTok, you don't stop.
So check this out. One other thing I got to plug here. There's a 2 Wet Crew show. If you live in LA, you can come to the live show March 7th at Dynasty Typewriter. And guess what? If you don't live in LA, they're going to be streaming it. You could watch it from wherever you live in the world. March 7th. At Dynasty Typewriter. I don't have a link yet as we record this, but you'll find it on my social media. Doug Pound with 2 G's. You'll find it there. Or just look up Dynasty Typewriter, 2 Wet Crew. You'll be able to watch it. We have Fred Armisen, Carmen Christopher, Chase Bernstein. We're going to do a pun contest. I got a new Doug's Bugs. I got a new 2 Wet Crew video.
Sounds so action-packed. I truly wish I was going to be there.
Brent. It's going to be an action-packed show.
I wish I was going to be there. If you happen to be
If
you happen to be a student at Pittsburgh State University in Kansas, then come to the show I'm doing that night there, March 7th. But hey, here's something a little more open to the public, though. If you're in the Oregon area, March 17th, that's a Friday.
St. Patrick's Day, sir.
St. Patrick's Day, in fact. come on out to the Cannon Beach Comedy Festival. I'll be doing a night there. There's 2 nights of the festival, and I'm doing Friday night. So just look for the info online. Cannon Beach Comedy Festival. It's in Cannon Beach, Oregon. You know where
what
Cannon
beach?
Cannon Beach.
I thought you were saying Canna Beach.
Cannon Beach.
Cannon Beach.
Do you know what that beach is known for?
Cannons?
It's known for the Goonies.
Oh, home of the Goonies, Astoria?
Well, it's not. Astoria is where some stuff took place, but the beach shot where the ship is sailing out and stuff like that.
That's Goonies.
That's Cannon Beach, yeah.
Oh, that's what I meant.
Yeah. That's Goonies.
That is Goonies.
It is
I
Goonies.
was right.
It is Goonies.
I was right.
It is Goonies. That is Goonies, but it's also Cannon Beach. There's a big rock kind of mountainous looking kind of rock in the middle of the water, you know. Anyway, that's Cannon Beach.
Let's get the show on the road because we got a great show. We got an interesting show today. So without any further ado, let's roll the clip and we'll bring out Kira Nova. Roll the clip.
Okay, let's do that.
Doug and Brent talking to each other. Doug and Brent, what will they talk about today? Doug and Brent are talking to some pimples. Doug and Brent will talk to their friends. And Doug and Brent talking on the Poundcast.
Welcome to the Poundcast. This is DJ Doug Pound, a.k.a. just Doug.
My name is Brent Weinbach.
And we have Kira Nova here as our special guest. And I asked her here because, Brent, I saw her do was it a shit ceremony on New Year's Eve?
Yeah, we called it shit ritual, something like that, but as ironic as possible.
I didn't even meet her that night, but I thought that could be, or she could be, she seemed like an interesting person, and I don't know anything about her.
Mm-hmm.
I know a little bit. And she doesn't know anything about us, I don't think, either. So I thought, wouldn't that be interesting as an episode of the Poundcast?
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
So here we are. So
Strangers in the dark. In the night. Strangers in the night.
Strangers in the night.
Yeah.
In the day, actually. I mean.
So what I do know is that you're from Lithuania?
Yes, that's correct.
And Originally.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
come a little closer.
Yeah,
or you can move the mic to you.
You can move the mic to you, or
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Nice.
So you're from Lithuania, and then did you grow up in a clown family?
Yeah, actually, pretty much. Did you just come up with
That's all I know.
Yeah.
Somebody said, I'm going to have Kira on the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, I think she grew up with in a circus family or a clown family or something.
Yeah.
So you grew up in a clown family?
Pretty much, yeah. It's a very interesting kind of story. My mom is an actress. She's Russian, and she studied acting in Moscow. But I don't know why, like a young, beautiful woman in that time decided to quit doing film and to become a clown. And she trained herself to become a clown.
Really? She quit film to become a clown?
Was she a well-known actress in Russia?
No, it was like she was 18, 19, you know, but then for some reason she swapped to back then the theater education and film was at such a high level, and it's like Soviet Union and education is for free. So she studied like Lecoq technique and all of the newest shit that I don't know if you're supposed to say that.
You can say it. You can say it.
You can say any word you like here.
Yeah.
Say all the words.
Okay, I'll definitely use this opportunity. Anyway, so it's really beautiful. So what we practice here in the clown scene in LA, I was very much introduced to that when I was 7 and 6, and my mom actually created a children's clown troupe. And we kids, we were writing acts, and they were all these like absurdist, abstract children's jokes, which I think whenever you reach out to your subconsciousness, that's always what comes out first, you know, to this day.
Yeah, sure.
So yeah, I'm continuing this work. Yeah.
Well, what was this poo ceremony? How did that go?
Yeah.
What was that? What do you?
Well, you were telling us to get rid of the shit from 2022.
Yeah.
And we were reborn as she got all the shit out of us for about maybe half an hour.
Yeah.
And she told, we were laying on the ground, we were focusing on we're shit, and then we got rid of it, and then we were reborn through a butthole that they made.
Oh, is that right?
I think it was made, it wasn't a real butthole, but it was a metaphorical butthole that we climbed through afterwards.
Yeah.
Did you feel cleansed?
I feel like a brand new piece of poo.
You feel like a clean piece of poo.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, shit is like a big thing, you know. Everything in this world is made out of shit.
Yeah, sure.
All the most beautiful things, you know. Like, for instance, mountains, like, geologically speaking, mountains are fish shit.
Oh,
you know, really, like, literally, it's not, I'm not being provocative. It's ancient bottom of the ocean, and most of that is fish shit. So we're looking at beautiful piles of fish shit.
Wow, really?
Then, for instance, what happens to a child mostly when they are born? Very often moms like shit on them. No, naturally, like. So we are introduced to shit a lot, and
well, yeah, I mean, no, a lot of beautiful things are made out of poo. I mean, diarrhea, constipation, you know.
It's like emotional.
Just different, yeah, stuff. No, I'm just kidding. No, and I mean, there might be a little bit of crossover here, but I've always been fascinated with poo myself, and I did this sort of art project once where I took photos of poo, but I took them really up close, so you couldn't really, you know, I mean, sometimes you can't really tell exactly what it is. I mean, you can pretty much, but it made them look very otherworldly, and it made it look, you saw details that you didn't normally see with your naked eyes. And so anyway, I just found it pretty fascinating because of the way the worlds that are kind of created in these poos, and then also how they take shapes and forms of things that sometimes look familiar too. That was interesting too. You know, one time it looked like a portrait of a woman, portrait of a lady. Another one, it looked like a space gun.
Wait,
another one.
Maybe they really were shitting out that lady.
Yeah.
And they were from you, though, right?
And they were from me.
Oh, maybe could you recognize the lady?
I wasn't. Someone in my life.
Something in your body. You know, there's an artist inside you.
Yeah,
you know,
right.
That's what's going on.
The artist inside.
Yeah, the artist inside makes poo, which is.
The calories.
So there's art that comes out of your mouth,
yeah.
Music, podcasts, whatever, poetry, and then there's art that comes out of there that's, it's kind of, what would you say? It's more of an underdog kind of thing. You know, it's not really recognized as much.
Well, definitely poo is something people shy away from a lot, or they think is gross or whatever. And I do think poo is, I don't want to touch it or eat it or anything, but But I think there is something interesting to look visually about poo is interesting, you know? And I also played with some mixed medium kind of stuff where I added some food and stuff to it, you know? There's some kind of statement being made there because it is kind of
it's from
food waste.
It's from foo.
It's food waste, right? And then there's foo. That's funny.
I just said foo.
That's poo that you eat.
Maybe that's what the Foo Fighters are about.
Right. Maybe they're into scat.
Well, back to the mountains thing.
Yes.
If you think about it, what's the best, fertilizer? Manure.
Absolutely.
Manure.
Yeah.
So all of our food that we get comes from, you guessed it, poo.
But also,
if you think about magic mushrooms, they grow off of poo.
100%, yeah.
I would also say I
wouldn't touch those, but...
Oh, I wouldn't touch them, but I would say that's right. People do eat the poo mushrooms. That's gross. That's interesting.
Well, the psychedelic ones specifically grow on cow patties. That's where they come from, right?
I don't know actually about psychedelic mushrooms.
I think that's where you can, if you go look for them in the wild, you find them growing on cow patties. That's a lot.
What is a cow patty?
That's just a colloquial term for cow poo.
Okay.
It's a nice big disc. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you put it between two buns.
And those are great too. Anyway, I don't want to change the subject.
I would also go as far to say that I'm probably in the top 5 biggest poo comedians in the country. What I mean by that is I think that I probably have the most poo related material as a comedian, and
in your body of work.
For the amount, something like that. Yeah.
Scatological.
So if you look at your body of work,
interesting. Yeah.
The body of work is producing a pile of poo.
Yeah.
That'd be a good infographic. It's like a body of work and then the pile of poo. You'd be in the top 5, you think? Who else is up there?
I don't know who's up there with me, and I'm talking about people who are maybe working. Working comedians too. They're not sort of obscure. Just open whatever. I mean, the professional comedians we're talking. Who else is up there? I'm wondering.
I can't think of anyone. You might be number 1. Maybe you're number 2.
You should have some kind of website listing, like
I think
pooability of
pooability. Pooability, yeah. I think I could be the number 1 top professional poo comedian, maybe in the country, maybe.
Okay, well, besides poo,
yes.
All I'm saying is I can relate.
I understand. That's very good to know. It's very comforting for me.
You seem to have a specific point of view about. You seem to be kind of like on a mission you have clinics that you run, right?
I wouldn't say clinics.
Maybe not clinics, but what do you call them?
No, actually, I do several different things. Right?
Workshops. Let's talk about them.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say them in any kind of hierarchical way, but there are 3 major areas of my activities. One is I'm a comedian, clown. I produce and create immersive theater, right? And comedic immersive theater.
Immersive theater is where the crowd is involved, the audience?
They are involved, but often it is... Sometimes it is directly, but also through, for instance, 3-dimensional sound, through the way that the actors are behaving. The things that we are creating, they are more immersive than just like a frontal stage work, right? And it's in US, it really lands as some kind of absurd, and it has lots of overtones of darkness, but it's just the sensibility of humor that I come from, right? Then the other side of my work is I also teach clown classes, but they are no more than just that, right? It's really like a mental rewiring and physical rewiring. I teach them at the Elysian. And aside from that, what I think you refer as a clinic is my work where I combine mentorship with therapy. And I've done that for, over 12 years. Like I worked in Scandinavia a lot, and actually I lived for 10 years in Amsterdam, and also 10 years in New York before I came here. Yeah. So that work, definitely it has that maybe somewhat of a clinic thing, but these are very different hats, that I wear.
Well, I saw a video of you on a hike with people.
Oh, yeah.
And they're crawling around.
Yeah.
So what happens on that workshop?
Okay. So these are... these workshops, they are some either independent or they are part of that physical theater clowning training, right? They're called psychedelic night hikes. I lead them in Santa Monica on my favorite mountain, where we became friends with her. And
your favorite shit mountain?
No, yeah.
Fish shit.
Yeah. No, she has lots of things there, and those workshops. This is like about 2-3 hour workshop where people do naturally enter psychedelic state.
Not with
any
drug or anything.
No, not at all. And why it is actually absolutely possible, because our brain is designed to enter psychedelic state or light states of trance. It's actually simpler than what we think. It's actually dispersing typical functions of the brain that usually work together. For a moment, we disperse them, and we activate different parts of the brain at the same time. or like we keep on switching, and it has. First of all, it's really fun because we laugh our heads off. Then we usually do it at the sunset, and we go into the dark, and it really begins to feel like a dream, like you are in fact in this psychedelic state. And for an artist to do that at least, let's say, once a month, it's so important. It's like cleansing your brain, like rewiring neural pathways, all
and
of that.
we're talking no drugs involved here.
No, not at all.
And so how do you get to this state? You crawl around?
It was like changing levels, how you walk. Yeah, it does affect it. But I've studied really a lot of physical techniques, one of which is Japanese physical theater, Buto.
I know Buto.
Yeah. So it's like it's a combination of, I would say, if people know Qigong, Tai Chi, that kind of stuff, yeah, but imagine with like a lot of psychedelic imagery and lots of dark Eastern European humor in it, and just making fun of holiness of a ritual, because I can't be too serious about it.
Well, wait. So what are the physical techniques that you do? You have to breathe a certain way or something, or what?
I know that breathing is important, but it's not essential in this work so much. It's about different rhythms that we go through, and it's like dispersing at once rhythms and movement, and doing it sometimes too slow, sometimes too fast.
So moving your body to a certain rhythm.
Yeah.
Okay, and then that causes you to start to see things, hallucinate?
I also conduct a lot, like I speak a lot, right? And we imagine things a lot. And I'm usually working with artists. So we all are so good at visualizing already. So we are playing with the fantasy, but the first thing is the body. It's like it's exhausting the body in a certain ways. It's moving the body in certain rhythms, but you don't really notice it because we are playing constantly. And I make sure that you don't notice it. So to me, at the beginning, when I started doing this work, I wouldn't even explain to people what I'm doing. And this work, in my case, it's over 10 years that I'm working in art academies and in like Sweden, Netherlands, New York, like Canada, and
Bakersfield, Fresno.
Yeah, for sure, all of that. But
West Covina. Anyway,
yeah, but it's like,
so, what do you when you start to experience the psychedelic thing? What happens? Do you see things? Do you hear things?
I don't think you mean it as you're hallucinating. Psychedelic doesn't mean necessarily hallucinations.
Yeah.
You just trip
it's more
out.
of a state of mind. I think.
You trip out.
You just trip out.
Yeah, first of all, your inner monologue stops, or dialogue, whatever is in your head at that moment. Like prefrontal cortex really relaxes. Suddenly you have that state of clarity. Like we always need that state of clarity. That's why people meditate. That's why they go to CrossFit. Is that moment of like, okay, I know now, right? And for us, by definition, humans, they're very religious people. And even atheism is a form of religiousness, right? And any kind of symbolism, like the sun is going down, we are climbing up the mountain, all of that affects you, and it shifts the brain.
And so it makes you start to just be more free or something in your mind? Is that what the idea is?
Yeah, free and easier. It's just easier because like brain is like tectonic plates of the planet. They they're cramped like this, and we shove so much information into our brain constantly that at some point you just really need to iron it out.
And it makes you laugh a lot?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's
Is it the hardest you ever laugh is when you're in this state?
I love it. Yeah, it's kind of comparable to as good as sex feels, like where you're giggling and it's like quite orgasmic. But it's true.
We gotta take this workshop, right? Me and you.
You're welcome.
The only two classmates.
Oh, just you and me.
Yeah.
And not even Kira. It's just we just go up to the mountain. Just you and me go to the mountain and just
just you and me. We'll take what we learned and we'll just figure it out.
Just start getting free. Start moving our bodies to a rhythm.
Yeah.
And then off the rhythm. Actually, one of the best ways to enter a light state of trance is to dance outside the rhythm.
Really?
And it's really hard.
Dance outside the rhythm?
I can't do that.
Outside the rhythm.
I'm too locked into the beat. I can't do that.
I've been
I think I could
blessed
do
with
it.
the gift.
I think I could do it. Here, give me a beat. I'll dance with my arm right now.
But for a while, and then like not.
Go ahead.
You want to try it?
Yeah, hit it.
Go.
What kind of beat do you
Any
want?
beat you want. I'll just dance outside the rhythm.
Well, you're just moving slow.
Wait, I'm dancing
You
outside.
can't
Watch.
just, like,
He has to start
Watch.
from somewhere. yeah.
Watch. Go. Keep going.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, how do you feel?
Yeah.
Now, how do you feel?
Whoa. Oh.
Go
I
like
don't
this
know.
for like 20 minutes.
Ooh. Okay. Yeah, I'm feeling it, Doug. Let's go to the mountain. I feel like I'm on a mountain right now.
All right, so let's rewind again. So back
Mm-hmm.
in Lithuania, you left at what age?
I think 20. Yeah,
Okay, and then where did you go?
to Amsterdam.
To Amsterdam.
Yeah.
What's your favorite place that you've ever lived? Because I've only lived in the United States, one country.
You know,
Two
currently
cities, one country.
the place where I live now, and it's actually honest answer, like even the exact place.
Santa Monica.
No, actually, right now I'm staying for 2 months in this apartment in Echo Park, and I really like it. At this moment, that's my favorite place.
Oh, okay. Well, Southern California, you can't beat it.
It's true though. For like a
What are you
big
gonna do? Go
city-
back to Amsterdam after this?
No, New York is still
Maybe New
tempting.
York,
I
okay.
still didn't fall out of my love with New York. I still love New York.
I bet you probably wherever you're staying is your favorite place.
At that moment, yeah. And
Yeah.
if it's not my favorite, I move.
Right.
And that's how I've
Right. You just
immigrated 3 times.
What's it like living in Amsterdam?
In Amsterdam, I also lived in red light district, like right like above everything. It
So
was
you're
good.
one of the ladies in the window.
I wasn't the ladies in the window. I was the lady above all the ladies.
Lady above the ladies.
Yeah. Like I had a very beautiful attic apartment
Oh, cool.
overlooking like, I don't know, 7 bridges or something like that. No, it was fun. It really formed me as an artist, that period, like those 10 years. But I also got like 3 academic degrees meanwhile.
Three
You got
academic
academic degrees?
in Amsterdam? Yeah. In what?
Are you a doctor?
Like I'm almost a doctor.
Whoa.
What do you got? What do you have?
What do you got?
No, all kinds of humanitarian stuff, to be honest. Like,
Humanitarian?
Yeah, like cultural analysis, psychology, like I have political science degree. Like I almost became a diplomat. Like it really went through all kinds of things.
Huh.
Yeah.
So political science. What else do you have?
Cultural analysis, some sociology, and they're weird degrees because these universities in Europe, they are not so constrained. So you like have a bag of courses that you take, and then it is under an umbrella of cultural analysis, you know?
Okay.
Basically, I like academic education a lot because essentially you are not coming out of it with a lot of knowledge, like facts. You come out of it with an ability to think and to gather and systematize the outside world.
If it's good.
Yeah.
Right.
If
if it's a good education.
it should train your brain to do
Right.
that. Yeah. But I forgot everything I've actually learned there. But I remember how to find it. That's all.
Google.
Yeah, Google. But see, like Google is really like going through a trash can. Like it's like I appreciate my academic education for that I can navigate it.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Did you have to? Were you employed when you were living in Amsterdam, or is it the kind of thing where they have good social, like, what do they call
Yeah.
like grants and stuff like? Were you like an artist who got
Yeah,
grants to like
yeah.
do stuff?
Yeah, that's why it annoys me sometimes in US when people ask me where I'm from, and I know that potentially when I say Lithuania, they might bag me into this economic immigrant category, and I'm like, I had such a good living, guys. Like, I had free income constantly in Amsterdam, and then I moved to New York. And like I basically downgraded financially.
What do you mean free income? How does that go?
No, it's like as an artist.
Artist grants and stuff.
Because of that.
They support
yeah.
the government supports
Right.
people
That's how you
in
do
ways
it
that they
right
don't
there.
hear.
No,
That's how you do it, right?
That's how
there.
you do it. We just got to go to Amsterdam, bro.
Yeah.
There's a comedian who used to live there. Tom Rhodes. He had a talk show there for a while.
Mm-hmm. No, Amsterdam.
You know Tom Rhodes?
Tom Rhodes? No.
I don't know. Yeah.
You could possibly know. Yeah, that's true. Amsterdam is super
Maybe,
small. Yeah.
Shoot. How long did you live there?
For 10 years.
10 years. And then you moved to New York. Huh?
Yeah.
And how long were you in New York?
Also 10 years.
Oh, really? Okay.
No, I don't know. I always say 10 years, but most probably it's something less because it doesn't add up all the numbers into my age. I'm like, that's actually, I need to
just
do
round
some
it
math.
up to 10. That's fine.
Yeah, kind of like 10 years. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
A decade. Like essentially all my body cells had changed and formed in that one place.
Mm-hmm.
And then you went to Scandinavia.
No, Scandinavia is, when you live in a place like Amsterdam.
Well, Lithuania is right by Scandinavia, right?
Yeah, but like you have to
cross the-
detach from Lithuania from now on. Like as soon as I moved to Amsterdam, it's like Western Europe, and then it's like most artists, they move around. Like they work in Brussels, Paris, London, don't know, Stockholm.
West Covina. Yeah.
Like it's just like it's a neighborhood.
Pacoima,
If
It's
it-
it's
it's
like
a neighborhood.
right.
Yeah, it's. I don't know. That's how I see that side of Europe.
It's
And
the
then-
west side. It's like the west side. It's the west side. West side of Europe.
West side?
West side. You work in the west side,
And now you're on the west side again?
No, yeah, like you don't need to
Brussels,
live in yeah, like you just take trains everywhere.
Right.
It's not that.
No, I know what it's like. I lived out there for a little. I lived on the west side for a little bit.
You did, yeah.
Well, I lived in England for a year. And,
Okay, cool.
So I took the trains around and stuff. I went to Brussels and other west side spots.
West side? So what else? What other kind of things do you, besides the psychedelic clown experience? Is that what it's called? Clowns on acid.
Yeah, I call the course is called Clowns on Acid. Yeah.
Clowns on acid.
Yeah.
But there's no acid.
There is no acid, but we activate those parts of the brain that are
Have you-
activated on mushrooms.
Have you
And
activated?
Hey.
Have you taken mushrooms or psychedelic drugs?
I've done it long time ago, but then when
But you
I
don't need it anymore because you.
it's
figured
actually
it out.
true. It's that one thing is I don't need it, but second, when you go through such intense training like I did, naturally I enter these states so fast that to me it would be very dangerous if I would use mushrooms now.
Sure.
Like
How could someone like Brent or I enter a state without taking a course or anyone listening? What's the simple way to perhaps feel this ecstatic state?
sex.
Well, okay. Say you're by yourself.
Say you can't do that.
Say you don't have access.
Say you
to
don't
that.
do that. Say you never do that.
Say you never do that.
That's true. It's America, yeah. Like there is this like tits in your face, but no one does anything. This is like American relation to erotic culture.
People in America are not as sexual?
It's a very strange country. Like it takes a while for a European to understand. It is so strange to me. I still get so surprised by, because you know when you come from Europe, you see all this like Baywatch and all of that, and you're like, oh, Americans, like fuck yeah, like it's gonna be like really free, and then you come and you talk openly about I don't know, eroticism and everything, and then only after a while I understood that whatever I say translates as like slut, slut, slut. She says, she's a slut, slut, slut. Wow, what a slut. Like, and then I was like, oh my God, it doesn't have any cultural buffer. There's no discourse. Like, so I really had to immediately reduce all of that and
Oh, you can't be
leave it
yourself?
out.
You're afraid
no,
to be...
like I added now because I'm like, oh my God, it's like culturally will be misunderstood completely.
Well, what do you
Yeah.
mean? Actually, say you didn't filter yourself, what would you be saying? What is, I want to, you know, what would...
We won't think you're a
We
slut.
won't think you're a slut. You know?
Yeah, but your listeners.
No.
Oh, no, they won't think so, right?
They
Come
won't
on.
think so.
You
Right,
won't think
listeners,
so.
come on, listeners.
You won't think
We
so.
won't do that. This is
close your ears.
cultural.
Just plug
Things
your
are
ears.
different in different cultures.
Plug your ears. Go ahead.
And actually, I think you know, the world should be more European. Right, Brent?
Okay. Sure.
No, I think the world should learn from each other.
Right.
I
mean, in certain
Well, I'm just
respects.
curious about what is something that would maybe you might have said, I don't know,
Or maybe
however
not
many years
something
ago.
you said, but an attitude or something.
Yeah, I'm just curious about how that sounds.
Not necessarily what you would say, but
You know, it's like in the same plane to me, all of it, like going to the gym, having sex, doing yoga, getting a massage, eating. There is no, like, it's all body and it's all experience, it's all mental. Like, or creative work, or like one doesn't suddenly become behind the doors and not mentioned ever, you know. And at the beginning, I really had it all laid out like this, and and also, you know, teaching in Scandinavia for 10 years, like, it's so open. All of these topics, they're so
what country?
part of
I'm going to
culture.
book a flight.
Scandinavia, Sweden. I've been
Oh, well,
working
that's
in
where
Sweden.
my relatives are from.
Yeah, I can tell.
That's why I can relate to that.
Easily, we all can relate. No, yeah.
Huh. Okay. How do you...
So all the physical things, Brent. Gym, sex, it's all the same. Why do you box it in like that? I'm putting you on blast. I'm just kidding.
Whatever. How's this go? All right. Hey,
You're doing like the...
Yeah, it's trying to do that. So how do you... You know how it's easy for you to get into that tripped out state of mind or whatever? Could you do it right now?
I guess I could.
Well,
but
maybe
I,
unzipped, we'll do a little something, maybe.
Unzipped, you'll unzip your mind.
We call
Yeah.
unzipped the extra section, and we can go a little
When
deeper.
you can talk about all the slutty stuff you want to talk about. No, I'm just kidding.
I can't wait.
I'm just kidding.
I'm like already ripping my clothes off. If I could only, please, can you please allow me to be my natural slut?
Yeah.
She's cracking up. She just got into that state.
You're right. You just got into that state. Oh, that's how you get into the
You
state.
did it.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I got
guided her into
I got
that
you
state.
into the state just now. Interesting. Okay, well that's cool.
Well, so when you were growing up and your mom was a clown, was your dad in an entertainer too?
Yes,
So you grew up in an entertainer family.
Very much so. Yeah, my dad used to write music, and it was the whole family, and he would create scenography, props, costumes, and we also worked, like, we traveled with the circus. My mom organized circus festivals. It was like really amazing.
What kind of circus was this?
Okay, so our acts, they were very contemporary to me, but the circus that we joined was like a classic kind of normal circus with bears and snakes and pigeon acts and
Snakes?
For any freaks?
I think to me the biggest freaks were the people who worked with bears.
But I mean, like, you know how they have in an old-timey circus, they'll have
Yeah.
a freak on display, like a bearded woman or like
I don't remember.
pretzel
to be
man-
honest.
a
pretzel
man with
boy.
no limbs or something, no freaks.
I don't remember those. Maybe we didn't have them.
Okay.
I don't remember.
That's fine. That's fine.
So
wish I would remember,
they were doing. Now, what kind of clown work were they doing? Were they wearing makeup with the
Like
noses
a classic
and stuff?
clown with the makeup? Yeah.
Us, no. We actually did basically object work, animated object work. For instance, we would go and we did lots of fun stuff. It would be
No speaking? So mime
no,
kind of stuff.
Usually no speaking. My dad actually would comment sometimes, but yeah, we would perform no speaking. There were some fun moments, like outrageous right now. Yeah,
What do you mean
It's true.
outrageous?
no, okay. So somewhere like along the line, my sister was born, and she, my mom at that time, you can Google. I think you could find some videos of it. There is this thing called baby yoga that back in like 20 years, 30 years ago.
Baby Yoda?
Baby yoga.
Oh, Baby Yoga. Yeah.
You can Google Baby Yoda
My
too.
mom, just Google Baby Yoda. Anyways, so it was popular, but I think in that side of the world, like Russia, Eastern Europe, and whatever, right, is to work with to get your baby like a lot more flexible, but also we would do lots of aerial stuff to a baby. So she would hold my sister on like her hands and wrists and would throw her around, would do all kinds of inversions, and like it would
Like
be
nunchucks.
yeah, totally.
Really?
Totally like how do you say them?
Nunchucks.
Oh, I'm not even sure how to really say it, but it's
My mom had those.
Nunchuks.
nunchucks.
Nunchucks.
I don't know.
My mom would carry those around in Lithuania because it was that dangerous. But okay.
Really? Nunchucks?
Totally. No, come on. We were.
Well, she didn't need it. She didn't need any
she'd use
nunchucks. She
more
had the
like-
baby. Actually, she could use that as protection. You know. Imagine she gets robbed or something, and she just takes out the baby, starts whipping her around and stuff.
That's possible. Actually, that would work. I think.
You know.
Yeah, but so she trained my sister, and we would have acts where my mom dressed as a clown. And imagine, like there are 200-300 people in the audience, right?
But dressed as a clown, what do you mean? She has white makeup on or something, or
Yeah,
She has a red
like
nose?
a poofy, some kind of
a
thing.
poofy?
with like,
Okay, she's got the
with
big
like,
poof balls.
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
And she's got a red nose and stuff.
Most probably she would, yeah.
Okay, got it.
Likely, yeah. She
Classic style.
I think, yeah. Visually, it was semi-classic, semi-cubistic. I would say.
What'd you say? Hibiscus?
Comedic?
Cubism.
Oh,
cubistic.
Oh,
Like it had
so
like
it's
kind of geometric shaped costumes.
Right.
No, they were. My dad is like an art historian, so like they would refer to
Interesting.
some,
Who's that guy? You know who I'm talking
Picasso?
about? Famous cubist, like performance artist.
Cubist?
What's his name?
maybe
Fritz
you are.
something?
No.
No,
I
not
think you
Fritz,
mean Klaus Nomi.
That's who I'm talking about.
Yes,
like,
yes.
kinda
So
like
we
that?
actually,
Klaus
yeah.
Nomi? Okay.
We had lots of references to that era in our costumes. That's why it kind of hurts to say whatever classic, because it's too banal of an image.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was more
Right.
fun. So imagine.
This ain't your
There's
grandma.
different classic. There's different class. This ain't your grandma's
This
class.
ain't your grandma's bozo.
No. No, they really had good taste. Like I'm very proud of my parents for that.
Yeah. No, it's like,
Mhm.
yeah, it's like, is the new generation a clown? Or was it was, yeah, anyway, I get it. So, okay, so you did that, and then what?
What I wanted to tell you, so besides this kind of object work, for instance, my mom would come on stage with a huge bag. She would set the bag on stage, would get my sister, also dressed as a clown, out. And it's a big stage, it's like 200-300 people in the theater. She would get my sister out, and there she would start throwing her around the way that my sister was trained. And my sister doesn't make any sound. The audience is completely silent, because it just looks like some kind of clown took a doll and is throwing the doll around. And then
the crowd kind of shocked?
No.
No, because they think it's a doll.
Yeah, they are just quiet. They're just watching. And then the punchline of that act, and my mom would do all kinds of really ridiculous stuff. It was like my sister hanging head down, everything. And this is like a barely over 1-year-old baby, right?
Okay.
And then she would set my sister down, and she would run backstage. And here you would have not even a laughter. What I love in the audience, it would be a gasp. But it would be this like...
Because they think it's not
They
real.
thought it was a doll.
And then
It's a
when your sister runs, they all go... That's pretty awesome.
What?
Yeah.
I would watch that clown show for sure.
What's your sister doing now?
She's still doing that, but with like a really big...
She's doing martial arts now?
Actually...
With really big what?
I
Like
think
a giant
she
is
could.
doing it. Like
yeah.
Andre the Giant sized
That's
guy
funny,
is doing
yeah.
it.
It's like...
Mm-hmm.
Wait, what does she do?
What does she do now?
She also does she's like an octagon. She does like 8 different things. She's in film mostly.
Doing what?
Acting, producing, directing, editing.
Where does she live?
Here.
Oh, really? You guys are pretty close?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Do you have any other siblings?
No, I don't.
Do you ever flip her around for old time's sake, or
I'll try to do that. I think she will like it. I'll ask her.
I don't know. Does she ever flip herself around for old time's sake?
She actually is she could be a good acrobat, I think, if she would try to. Yeah.
She could go in a pool and just sort of flip around in there. It's kind of safe in there, flipping. If you flip in a pool, it's pretty safe, Did you guys ever go up on a tightrope or anything like that, or swings?
I actually, she's into that kind of stuff. For me, it's like, nah, I can't.
So you were performing clown. You were as a kid. You were doing clown stuff. What were you doing? Were you?
I would write my solo work, like my solo work.
You were writing stuff when you were.
I wrote my stuff. And
Can you do a California accent? She kind of did a little bit.
Yeah, what was that accent just now? What was that?
Whenever I do any kind of American accents, it's just so embarrassing.
Well, actually, I have a quick question, just to quickly can you do? I'm curious about a Lithuanian's person's version of a, say, French accent and an English accent and stuff like that. What's that going to sound like?
I'm not so good at accents.
She's already speaking in probably how many languages do you know?
Okay. On a regular basis, I constantly flip through 3 languages. That's like I write in 3 languages and I think in 3 languages.
Which ones?
Lithuanian, Russian, and English. And Lithuanian language, just in case if anyone doesn't know, semantically it's entirely different group of languages than Russian. They're not at all similar.
You get like backwards R's and stuff.
Yeah.
Cyrillic. It's not Cyrillic at all.
No, not at all. Actually, it's closest to Sanskrit.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really? That's interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Closest to Sanskrit, huh?
Interesting.
Huh.
In age, at least, yeah.
Oh, in
really
age.
Interesting.
Huh.
Oh, okay, okay, got it. So, can you do accents at all? What was that accent you did just now?
She doesn't want to.
What was that accent you did, though?
I am not comfortable accent.
Okay, interesting.
I'm sorry, it's just I'm not so comfortable. This
what
kind
is
of
that accent? That's interesting.
I don't know.
Yeah,
it's kind of like an American, Instagram chick.
Is it? Is that what it is? Okay.
Influencer.
Like an influencer.
Oh, influencer. Okay.
I don't know.
So,
hey guys, this is Kira. I'm going to tell you about clowning today.
You're
Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like and share.
Yeah.
Do you think, so you know how you basically kind of think that people from the United States are kind of repressed or something like that or whatever, right?
No, it's a fantastic combination. The reason why I live here is because people are so in a way very soft, their brain is soft in a good sense.
You mean they're too sensitive?
No, they are very easily
aroused.
No. All about fucking arousal. But no, they are so easily interested in new things. They will try things out. It's like
oh, I see. You mean they're not hard-headed? You mean they're not?
No, not at all. They are very playful and they are very open, and it's so much easier to introduce any kind of new forms of art here than, let's say, in old continent.
Okay.
So that's why I'm here, and also because I'm super serious. If I'm not around Americans who require me to be funny, I'll become like a dry conservative bureaucrat.
Really?
Yeah, because
we don't require
no,
you to
I
be
can
funny.
be. Yeah, I can be. Well,
growing up in a clown family, you're serious?
Are you serious?
Are you serious? No, I can. I mean, I can be if I would be like with my Lithuanian friends for like 12 hours. We would be analyzing the global economy of the world and anthropological connectivities. This is like a typical quick chit chat, 12-hour dive into the meaning of life.
Right.
We recently learned from Zach Kreger, our friend who was on here. He's a director. He shot a film in Bulgaria, which is Eastern Europe, right? And he said the people in Eastern Europe, they are refreshingly blunt and honest. They won't, if you say, hey, how you doing today? They won't go, great, how are you? They'll just say bad or whatever. They'll just, they won't put on an air of positivity like Americans put on. Do you find that in LA, especially, is known for this, of people kind of being fake or being kind of like putting on an air of, you know what I'm saying? Like an air of positivity, or
Mhm.
I think they're kind of phonies out here. Do you experience that?
But don't you think in every state there is always a several layers, right? So you could be having a shit day, but then the sun is shining and there are palm trees, and yeah, and even if I would say, yeah, I'm actually pretty good, like relatively, there wasn't a war here, or there is no earthquake, why wouldn't actually overall you would be good? And it's like, will I be looking at the shadow side of my state right now, which is like I am tired and whatever, or should I be looking overall at the brighter state? So to me, it's just a choice, and I think Californians they make
choose
a
the
brighter
side.
choice.
They
And
make a brighter choice. That should be on the license plate. Make a brighter choice, California.
no, but in that sense, to me, it's not fake. It's just. It's not a bad conditioning. However, yes, there is, like, of course, there is some fear of pain or fear of so-called negativity.
Well, okay, maybe
whatever.
the question
Yeah.
isn't about how you doing today. People will say that just to just to move on with your conversation. But if somebody says, do you like my shirt?
Yeah.
And if you don't, I think maybe there's a difference there where people will be like, I think it's ugly, and that's a refresh. And do you think people won't be honest in ways like that they don't want to hurt anyone's feelings? Or
what if everyone were like trained one too many times at UCB, and they are like yes-anding everything, like yes, and
so you're trained.
The shirt will be even better with a scarf.
Okay.
What if your mentality is more like that? In that sense, there is something else that, if at all, to improve with Americans is that what I'm interested in. There is not it's not that they are surface. There is just a huge gap of tradition that Europeans have, and it feels more solid. And Americans, the reason why it feels culturally very like airy and poofy is because there is sometimes no depth and no ancestral depth to even like connect to. A lot of things are just sort of jumble of borrowed stuff, and even borrowed from cultures that are so far away. It's actually hard to relate, like all of the new age and yoga and everything comes from India. And I'm like, guys, but actually, most probably, if you want to go somewhere a bit away from religion, like Christianity, then maybe look into paganism, like, European paganism, not necessarily shamanic ayahuasca paganism. Yeah, let's go into national. No, but paganism is not nationalism, but...
I know, I'm just kidding. Because, there's white nationalists, like, proud of their European roots or whatever. But yeah, so paganism is a Caucasian tradition that is ancient, more ancient than Christianity and stuff.
It is, yeah. It's actually a bit closer to, I think, to reality. But again, tradition.
Can you describe paganism? Do you practice it or anything?
I would say if in a sense, practice it. No, yeah, in a way, yeah. Look, I'm bringing all these clowns on the mountain, and we are like, of course, I'm pagan as fuck, but
you're crawling around with clowns on a mountain. That's pretty pagan.
Yeah.
You dance around and stuff around some sort of statue or something like that.
Yeah, I worship things. I like draw blood from people. Like we of course we always like sacrifice things, like little things like that.
Yeah.
Like to bring tradition.
Yeah.
No, but paganism essentially is just assuming that everything is alive, like and that there is a living relationship between the planet that's alive and the human that's alive, and in that sense, if we would look at it like this, everyone, imagine ecologically how much more harmonious it would be if we wouldn't like depart our God all the way into the sky together with Tesla,
Right.
And then it's like, whatever, I can just shit off back to shit here,
Right, God is separate.
Yeah.
Pagan is like God is right here.
No,
everywhere.
it is like essentially a big part of God is someone who gives life, and Earth actually gives life, and life goes back into Earth. So there is a lot more communication there, Yeah, I think it's a lot. There is kindness to it, and there is simplicity, and there is also a simplicity in a channel of communication. There is like you don't need to go to a certain establishment or to a wise woman or a man to ask a question. You can also go to a portal, which is a mountain, an ocean, a stone, or even a flower pot, and have a communication there.
And perhaps a porta potty. Bringing it back to the beginning.
Yeah, you could most probably like read it. But there are like science.
Yeah, can a toilet be a portal?
Yeah, I think it could be.
No, I know what you're saying. I totally agree. I mean, yeah, there's a disconnect. How could Americans, I don't want to say heal, but whatever, what could they do to close that gap of the depth? How can they fill that depth? How can they get deeper?
I am learning that together with all of the Americans that I'm surrounded. And it's fantastic, because if I would be left to my own devices, I would just get very serious. But what is so nice that it turns out that through humor and play, we can actually fill in those bubbles, of emptiness somewhat. And then, of course, when we can connect a little bit more globally. Yeah.
You can also wear feathers, and like headdress, and get like a little hatchet, and start going, go. How do they do that?
I'm not gonna. Yeah, they do the chop, the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, you could just do that. Go to a Chiefs game.
You could go to the Chiefs game. Yeah.
Or just chop some wood, like for hours.
Actually, chopping wood. I like chopping wood.
Smoke some signals.
Smoke some signals.
Get some.
I smoke signals. Smoke signals every day. What if smoke signals became this cool new trend?
Right.
And you're like, people are getting rid of their phones and they're doing smoke signals instead. Yeah. You're like trying to talk to your friend and you're like, hey, where are you at?
Yeah. That's funny.
I just sent an eagle to your way.
Right. I sent a raven. I sent a pigeon.
I sent a Philadelphia eagle.
I sent a smoke signal. You're not responding to my signals.
Oh, I misread your signals.
Dude, you ghosted my signals. My smoke. All I see is blue sky. Totally ghosted. Well, do you have any questions for us?
It's a good question.
We got a little more time until we go to the little bonus section, but
that's right. Yeah.
What do you want to know?
You don't have to ask us any.
Yeah,
questions.
you don't have to. But what do you want to know?
That's a very good question.
You don't have to come up with something like that right now. But what do you want to achieve here, or not here, but like
on this podcast?
What's your like? What's your goal? Like, what's your mission in life?
My mission in life?
Yeah, or at least right now.
I have lots of missions, I feel. But I really want to...
You want to help people?
No, in a way, yeah, but myself, really. I want to have more fun world around myself. Like, I wouldn't say I'm such a...
You want to have fun?
Yeah, exactly. I want to have fun. And for me, fun, it has to have lots of depth, because I'm fucking European, like, so for me, it's like, I can't, for instance, go to a comedy show that only just laughs, because I really actually do feel like someone is flushing the toilet whenever people are like, and then I'm like, yeah, but can we just like have a little bit more dance and like intense, some kind of experience, then can I be like a little bit scared, and then I'll shit myself a little bit, and then I laugh. I really need I need all these buttons to be pushed,
So that's what the clown scene is all about, because this new clown scene, it's not all about laughs, it's about all kinds of emotions.
It's about pushing
fear,
buttons.
But also failure of basically your composure, a lot of that. And also mostly it's about the humor that comes from the body, not from the mind. Because like with stand-up, you can always calculate. It's a very rational form of art, and then it has the intuitive flow. With like physical comedy, you are hitting it when it's not very clear why exactly we all are laughing.
That's my whole thing. No, it is. That's my whole thing. Is not you don't know why.
Right.
You know, that's my whole.
He specializes in jokes that are not necessarily like.
You don't have to get them in.
Punchline.
Yeah.
It's about the way it's delivered, but he doesn't make you. He's not in the clown world, but he does.
But I say it on stage even that I don't. You don't have to understand it in your head. You just have to understand it in your body and react to it in a sort of.
Brent, can you give her an example of something like that, with perhaps not saying a word? Because Brent is a man of 1,000 faces,
Yeah,
and he can make people laugh with just a look.
Huh.
Well, okay. You want me to just give her a look?
Yeah.
That's maybe kind of funny?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and you don't have to laugh or anything. You know, I want you to be honest.
Okay, fine. How about this? Sorry, hold on.
YouTube.com/the Poundcast if you want to see it. See?
I don't know.
I mean, that's a good example. You get it. You get it. That's a good example.
I don't know. I don't know.
Well, then,
I know, I get it.
I want to know as well. So, for instance, what is your mission in life?
Just to make the best face possible, you know.
Best face.
Make the funniest face possible.
And then you can die.
Once he makes that face,
down.
Once I make the ultimate
face.
funny face,
Retire
then
and just have a
I'm
good-
done. You know, I just got to get the ultimate face. You know.
And
I need a
you-
little more of a prompt. You tell me what face to make, and I'll make it.
Okay, yeah,
That's how it is.
that's
Well,
just,
wait, to make the face of your life's mission.
here,
the face of my
ladies and
life's
gentlemen,
mission.
the face of Brent's life's mission. Couple of things Brent likes is delicious food, poo, and jazz. And here's that face.
Jazz. I think I see jazz a lot.
Aaron, you gotta get there. It is.
You didn't get it.
Got so
You-
late
Hold on
to
a
it.
second.
You want to do one more? I feel like.
Well, give me another one,
you
prompt.
Okay,
wanna
let's
do
give
one
him
more.
3 things,
Give
and
me
then he'll
one.
make
Just
that
give me
face.
one. Give me one thing. Give me one thing. I'll do the
Okay.
face.
The purpose of life.
But something a little more specific. though.
Okay. How about
okay.
that gnocchi dish, the pesto gnocchi dish when they don't have it. Sorry, sir, we just discontinued that dish. Here it comes.
We discontinued that dish.
Oh my god.
Sorry. I don't know.
That worked.
I don't know.
good.
It's more. I actually kind of want more. Just say jazz or just say gnocchi. You know what
Okay.
I mean?
Right, one thing.
That's it. Yeah,
But
one
that's
thing.
the-
Just say
that's-
one word. Give me one word suggestion.
Give him one word.
One
Your
word.
turn.
Jesus Christ. One word. It's like it's very limiting. I'm sorry. One word.
Yeah, but 1,000 pictures could be one
Yes.
word. One
Yeah,
word is
yeah,
worth
yeah,
1,000
It's a thousand face.
face.
Okay. Tinder.
Finger.
Tinder.
Tinder.
No, it's like one word with 1,000
Okay.
faces.
Tinder.
The app.
Yeah.
Okay, not
Okay,
the
let me
wood.
think.
Not the small pieces of wood.
Right. Well, both. Both actually.
Both.
Why is this Tinder? I mean, like.
He's trying to look hot.
What
He's
is
trying to
it?
look like
Oh,
hot.
I see. Shit. Okay, I'm sorry.
I don't know, man. Aaron was laughing.
Aaron gets it. Or, it touched Aaron.
That's good.
Aaron's never been on Tinder, probably, right?
Nope.
See, I just gave you that experience. That's for Aaron.
Now you don't have to be.
Now you don't have to.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, now's a good time to wrap up the main episode. Can you plug, promote anything to promote? Say, your website or your Instagram or your Tinder handle or anything,
Tinder handle.
or your
Like-
workshops. How can people find you?
handle.
How can people find you,
Well,
etc.?
That's right. So these clowns on acid, they are at the Elysian Theatre. There are at the moment, there are 5 modules, and the one that's coming up is called Sexual Slapstick.
Sexual slapstick.
Sexual
Yes.
We'll talk about that in the
I feel like I
unzipped
just did that just now, but go on.
Yeah.
Just did.
So that's actually coming up in 10 days from
Wait,
now.
what? Okay, we're gonna talk about that. Okay, got it.
Yeah, and otherwise it's like a 5-module course where people can take any class out of the module in any order that they want to. But the idea is that to give as much of a well-rounded, as much of a academic level of education to something as silly as clowning. Yeah.
I just thought of an idea for sexual slapstick real quick. Well, what came to mind was a penis trying to stick it into a hole, into a body hole, but instead it keeps on sticking into the wrong things, you know, like a bear trap and stuff like that, you know, or whatever. It keeps on trying to aim for the vagina or mouth or butthole or whatever, but then it keeps going in something else, like the fan,
Going up.
a fan or something. Yeah,
Going up the escalator.
Yeah, it goes up an escalator instead. You know?
Yeah, like absurd. I think I agree with you. Yeah, there is lots of absurdity in it. So yeah, there are these courses, and then I actually don't have a website, but I use Instagram as my website, and it's my name, Kira.Nova_. And there
Kira.Nova, then underscore at the end.
Underscore, yeah. And besides those Elysian workshops, I also do the psychedelic night hikes as a standalone, like free to order, like a minimum 3 people can actually have an arrangement, and we'll go on the mountain for a couple of hours.
Okay, me, you, and then we get Trevor.
One more person. Yeah.
It's Trevor.
Yeah.
And Trevor. That's
And
funny.
other than that, actually, in May, my new show is coming up at the Elysian also. That's called The Great Ball at Satan's. And that's going to be immersive theater.
The Great Ball at Satan's?
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
It's going to be an immersive thing.
Yes.
Okay, we'll
But,
get into that.
but like, it will feel like a pressure cooker environment with like elements of washing machine, but you'll just feel good afterwards.
It's like you're describing it with appliances. It's going to be like a pressure cooker environment, but with elements of a dishwasher and
Washing
a little bit
machine.
of microwave, like a dash of microwave and
A little bit,
you know,
yeah.
kind of
Toaster oven.
toaster. Yeah, then we definitely have a big toaster oven ending. You know,
Yeah.
it's got a flat screen.
Well, that was a fascinating conversation. Thank you, Kira.
Yes, thank
and
you
do you
so
mind
much.
sticking around for a little longer to talk more?
Yes. Yeah, it's really fun. Yeah.
If you want to support our show, go to patreon.com/Poundcast. And when you do that and you sign up, you could keep listening to our show with Kira, Nova.
Or watching it.
And we would like to give a thank you to Aaron Brunkart behind the boards over there, All Things Comedy, and
Jack Birch.
Jack Birch, our Poundcast editor and kind of a producer in a way. Jackie Montana and
Daniel Avila.
Daniel Avila, who helps us with our TikTok clips. And I think that's about it for that. And we'll see you next week on the Poundcast. Or stick around. Poundcast after Poundcast Unzipped. Patreon.com/Poundcast.
Doug and Brett, talking to each other. Doug and Brett, what will they talk about today? Doug and Brett are talking to some pimples. Doug and Brett will talk to their friends, and